Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a pretty ambitious white paper with a huge vision for the year 2025. It's called Metera, and it's basically asking us to tear down and rebuild the very foundations of our digital world. So what's so broken that it needs that kind of fix?
Well, that brings us to the big question right at the heart of this whole idea. Is the internet, the one we use every single day, actually running out of road? I mean, we think of it as this infinite, open space, but what if the way it's built is actually boxing us in instead of setting us free?
So to get to the bottom of that, the Metera white paper starts with a pretty stark diagnosis. It calls our current situation a digital dead end. The argument is that for all the amazing things the internet does, the world we've built on top of it is starting to hit some really serious walls.
Just think about your own life online for a second. Your photos are stuck on one platform, your work connections on another, your friends on a third. These are what the paper calls data silos, and they're locked inside these walled gardens where just a few huge companies get to make all the rules. And the point they're making is, we don't really own our data or our digital identity. We're just borrowing them.
And this really hits on the trade-off we've all kind of just accepted, right? We get all this amazing convenience, logging in is easy, apps connect to each other, but the price we pay is control over our own digital lives. So the paper poses this critical question. What's the real, long-term cost of that deal? Are we trading away the future of the internet for what's easy today?
Okay, so if we're heading for a dead end, what's the off-ramp? Well, that's where Metera comes in. And let's be clear, the idea here isn't to build another social media app or a new platform. It's to build an entirely new ground floor for everything else to be built on.
So, what is Metera exactly? The white paper calls it a foundational protocol. A good way to think about it is it's less like a new website and more like a whole new kind of digital pavement for the entire internet. And the keywords here are everything. Decentralized, so no one company owns it. Interoperable, meaning all our different apps and services can finally talk to each other. And user-owned. That's the big one.
And you know, there's a quote from the paper that just perfectly sums up this whole vibe. We're not building a new platform. We're laying down the roads for a million new worlds to connect. Just think about that for a second. The goal isn't to be the next big thing, but to let a million new things bloom without asking for permission.
All right, that's a huge, huge vision. But how does it actually work? Like, what are the nuts and bolts here? Let's peel back the layers and look inside the architecture they're proposing.
Okay, so the whole thing is built on three main ideas. First up, universal identity. Imagine having a single digital passport that you own and control, one that works absolutely everywhere. Second, interoperable data. This is like a universal translator for all your information, so you can take it with you and use it wherever you want, freely. And third, decentralized governance. This means the people who actually use the network, that's us, get a say in how the rules are made.
And this slide really lays it all out, side by side. It's like a before and after for the internet. You see on the left, the way things are now. Companies control our data, our identity is scattered all over the place, and the money flows up to the top. But on the right, you have the Metera way. You control your data, you have one identity that you own, and the value actually flows back to the people creating it. It's a massive difference.
And look, this isn't just some far-off fantasy or a bunch of ideas on paper. The white paper lays out a real-deal plan, and that brings us to the 2025 roadmap.
So here's how they see it rolling out. It's not happening all at once. It's a careful process. It kicked off in 2023 with the protocol itself being launched. In 2024, the focus shifts to getting toolkits into the hands of developers, the people who will actually build on this thing. And then the main event in 2025, the public mainnet goes live, opening the floodgates for everyone.
But what's the grand finale of this roadmap? What's the big target for that 2025 launch? Well, the paper puts a number on it, and it is a big one, 1 billion. That's the goal, to get 1 billion people onto a truly open, user-owned digital commons. I mean, that's a staggering number that just shows you the sheer scale of this ambition.
Okay, 1 billion users, a new protocol, that's all massive, but let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. What does this actually mean for you and for me? How does this huge vision change anything in our day-to-day lives?
Well, it really comes down to a few game-changing ideas. First, your data, your rules. Simple as that. You decide who gets to use it. Second, imagine this, moving between a game, a social space, a work app, without ever logging out and back in again. Just seamless. And maybe the biggest one of all, you would actually get a piece of the pie, a share in the value that your data and your creativity generate online.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. The technology, the roadmap, the whole philosophy, it's all there. It's a blueprint for a totally new kind of digital world, one built on our terms. So the only real question left is, are we, the users, actually ready to build it? It's a powerful thought to end on. Thanks for watching.